Welcome to Astroseeker Hindi channel.
where sometimes the oldest warriors become the last hope of the future. The Galactic Alliance believed humanity was outdated. Not weak, just outdated. Too emotional, too attached to old traditions, too obsessed with physical warfare in an age where most battles were fought by machines. And honestly, most humans didn't argue much, because compared to the rest of the galaxy, Earth really did look strange. Other civilizations trusted artificial intelligence to command their armies. Humans still trained soldiers hand to hand. Alien empires replaced animals with anti-gravity carriers centuries ago. Humans still kept cavalry divisions, actual horses, living creatures with armored saddles charging beside plasma tanks. To most alien species, it looked ridiculous, primitive, almost embarrassing, which is why nobody stopped laughing when the Terran Cavalry Corps arrived at Carthos Ridge. The battlefield stretched across hundreds of frozen kilometers on the frontier world of Vera 12. Snowstorms covered the mountains. Massive military carriers lined the valleys. Thousands of Alliance troops prepared for the largest offensive of the year against the Voric Dominion. Everything about the operation depended on technology, advanced drone coordination, automated artillery systems, neural-linked armored divisions, entire military doctrines built around machines communicating faster than living soldiers ever could. Then the humans unloaded horses from armor transports. The reactions were immediate. Alien soldiers stopped working just to stare. One mechanized infantry officer blinked twice. "Are those biological cavalry units?" Another laughed openly. No way humans still use mounted warfare. Even some Alliance reporters recorded videos of the horses like they were historical curiosities. Huge black and brown warhorses stepped calmly across the frozen ground while human riders checked saddles, rifles, survival gear, and old steel combat sabers hanging beside advanced weapons. The contrast looked insane, like history itself accidentally walked onto the wrong battlefield. Captain Elias Mercer ignored the stares while tightening armor straps on his horse Titan. Titan was enormous, dark brown, scarred from years of military service. Smarter than some officers Elias worked with. The horse snorted cold air while distant artillery thundered through the mountains. Lieutenant Sarah Veck from the Alliance Mechanized Division approached carefully beside her hover tank squad. She was young for an officer, curious, still polite enough not to laugh openly. "Captain Mercer? That's me." She glanced toward the cavalry units behind him. "I have to ask." "Everyone does." "Why horses?" Elias scratched Titan's neck calmly. "Because machines fail." Sarah looked confused. The Alliance uses military systems with triple redundant stabilization networks. Still machines. "Our vehicles can survive direct plasma strikes." Still machines. She crossed her arms slightly. "You really think horses matter on a battlefield like this?" Elias looked across the frozen valley where thousands of armored vehicles waited for war. Then quietly answered, "I think humans survived long enough because we never trusted only one way to fight." That answer sounded philosophical or insane. Sarah wasn't sure which. The offensive began before sunrise. Alliance commanders launched the largest mechanized assault scene in years. Hover tanks advanced through icy valleys. Drone swarms filled the skies like metallic storms. Automated artillery obliterated enemy fortifications kilometers away with terrifying precision. Everything moved perfectly, fast, efficient, mathematical. The Alliance war machine looked unstoppable. Human cavalry remained near the rear sectors as reserve mobile support, which meant the jokes continued over military channels. One tank commander transmitted sarcastically, "Careful, humans. Don't let the horses outrun the war." Another pilot added, "If the enemy charges with catapults, we'll call you." Laughter spread through the communication networks. Captain Elias muted most channels. No point arguing, because deep down, the cavalry soldiers already understood something strange about the battlefield. The Voric Dominion retreated too easily. Enemy resistance felt staged, artificial, like they wanted the alliance deeper inside the valley. Elias watched the advancing mechanized lines carefully, then quietly said to his second-in-command, "This feels wrong." The officer nodded immediately. "Trap." "Definitely." Before anyone could react, exactly where humans thrive best. Again and again the cavalry smashed through enemy assaults. When Alliance infantry broke, the riders carried them out. When supply lines collapsed, the horses restored them. When commanders died, cavalry officers reorganized survivors manually. And slowly, against all logic, the Alliance front stabilized, then pushed forward. By sunset, the Vorik Dominion finally began retreating, not because their technology failed, because human cavalry refused to stop moving. The frozen battlefield of Carthos Ridge looked unreal afterward. Thousands of dead machines covered the valleys. Silent tanks buried beneath snow. Crashed drones scattered across the ice. Broken artillery frozen where it died. And moving among all the ruins, horses. Living creatures breathing warm air into the frozen dusk, while exhausted riders checked wounded survivors. The future lay dead across the battlefield. But humanity kept fighting anyway. Later that night, Alliance commanders gathered around physical fires because no digital systems still worked properly. Nobody laughed at the cavalry anymore. Now they stared at the horses with quiet respect or fear. Lieutenant Sarah sat beside Captain Elias, watching cavalry medics treat wounded animals beside the ruined battlefield. Finally, she asked softly, "Did humans always know this day might come?" Elias looked across the frozen wreckage. Every civilization eventually trusts machines too much. And humans. The captain rested one hand against Titan's neck. Humans trust what still breathes. The wind moved silently across Carthos Ridge, while dead war machines cooled beneath falling snow. And deep inside every surviving Alliance soldier, one terrifying truth settled permanently. The galaxy spent centuries evolving beyond old warfare. But when the future collapsed, Earth remembered the past. Because when the future died, Earth rode in from the past.
Thanks for watching this video. For more videos, subscribe to Astro Hindi channel.